What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday morning. It's like May 10th or something like that. Who knows? I don't really know. I have no idea. I'm over here sitting in my closet on Friday talking to a camera, losing my mind. But, that's life, man. It's what we do. It's what we do on a daily basis, right? Thank you guys so much for joining me again. I'm going to put these headphones on. Maybe this might make it a little bit easier. I can hear myself talk. So yeah, guys, what's going on? I feel like I have a lot to talk about today. I'm not 100% sure. I'm doing this again when I'm door dashing. Paused it right here. If you're on YouTube, you can see that. It's been a good morning, man. Fridays are hot. I do my, so the way that have my schedule set up right now is, so Taylor works 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, like 7:30 a.m. to about between Monday to Thursday, she's there to about 5:30. Friday, she's there 7:30, and she gets off at 4 on Fridays. And on Fridays, we always, or every single day, we always get lunch together, which is one of the reasons why, like, I love door dashing. One of the reasons, not the only. I feel like all I do is hop on here, and I'm like a spokesman for for door dashing. But I love it. I do. I really do. So my schedule is basically Monday to Friday. I DoorDash from 6:30 to about noon, and then I go to lunch with Taylor from about 12:30 to 1:30, and I DoorDash from 1:30 to about 5. And then between that time, I just pause 35-minute blocks. I pause like 3-4 times. And then on Friday, I come back here. I go from 6:30 to about 9, to about like 10. Come back here, do my podcast from like 10:30 to 11:30, meet her for lunch at noon. And then I just, and then then I DoorDash till 4 o'clock from like 1:30 to 4. And then we just hang out, dude. That's what we do. I love it. Like, it's so fascinating. I'm not, there's a lot of people who there's like two type of people in this world. I believe there's people in this world who plan everything out to the T, right? They need a plan to do anything. And then there's those people in the world who have a plan, but that plan is just an outline. Like, it's not a thing that will like cause them to have like anxiety if they don't complete the plan. I'm that person. Like, I obviously have a plan with things, right? So I'm like, door dashing right now, so I have an income. But I'm also applying to about 10 to 15 jobs every weekend, remote positions. So I'm looking to eventually get a job there, get a salary-based job, work from home. But I'm not compromising on anything. Like, I'm not going to get a job where I got to go into an office. Like, those days are over for me. And I know you could be listening right now and, like, hey, man, the economy, with all these jobs open, you're the person who's, like, causing people not to get jobs. Like, that's fine, but I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to go into an office. And honestly, like, you shouldn't have to go into an office. Like, there's no reason to be going to offices anymore to be working. I don't want to get a blue-collar job. I know what I want. And, like, I've, I in the corner of my closet right now, I have a suit, I have suits, I have pants, and I have a belt. And I keep those there to remind me. Well, I keep them there for one reason, because I might need them again eventually. Someone might croak in my life, or I might marry Taylor, like, soon. I will marry her, but maybe not, like, probably within like the next 2 years. Don't tell her. She knows that though. But I keep them there to remind me, like, hey man, don't let like this drive, this pull of high paying jobs take you out of what you're doing right now. It's so fascinating. Like, people always look for things in life, and there's this, like, you hear a lot of famous people, they talk about making it, and once they make it, they ask themselves, like, what's the best time of my life? And the best time of their life is when they're like on the rise, or like the best time of life is when they have freedom, when they can do what they want when they want. They don't have to worry about people talking to them. They don't have like a manager, like 5 different managers and shit like that. And I realized this about like 2 weeks ago. I was just door dashing and I'm listening to a podcast like Lex Fridman or Joe Rogan, and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, I love my life right now. And I think, like, every once in a while I get like this drive to, like, if it's slow door dashing, I'm like, oh shit, man, maybe I should just, swallow the bullet and go ahead and just apply for a regular job. Maybe I should just go out and, like I had this State Farm insurance interview that I just didn't do. I had it and I just canceled it like 2 weeks before I had it because I was like, I don't want to do that. And I almost, like there's traps in life. And like the biggest trap, one of them is, you have to go to college. That's a big trap. The other huge trap that people unfortunately don't understand until they get of age to realize that they already fucked themselves is credit cards. And if you don't know how to deal with a credit card, like it's a trap, dude. I mean, if you go from having no job to making 20 grand a year, and then you can get a $1,000 credit card, $1,000 limit on a credit card, and 1,000 of 20 is what, that 5%, right? 5% of your income, and you just max out the credit card. Like, you have no idea what you're doing, but you just screwed yourself for life. And then you max out that credit card, so then you go get a new one, and it's like there's like these traps in life, and I've come to realize like this one right now is a trap. I'm right on the edge of a trap. I could fall for it and be like, hey, I want to get paid 60, 70K, so let me apply for that job, get that job, but I would hate it. I would hate it because I know already that I don't want to be in an office. I would know already that I don't want to drive to work. I don't want to go 30 minutes to work. I know I don't want to deal with insurance. I know I don't want to cold call people. I know I don't want to have to get a certification. It's not lazy. Like, that's the thing is, like, people hear that and they go like, oh, you're lazy. Like you think life is all like easy and shit. Like, nah, dude, like I work my ass off. Like, I DoorDash, but I'm not like a regular DoorDasher. Like, I work hard. I have figured out like the perfect ratio of orders. I figured out what neighborhoods to go to and not to go to because some neighborhoods tip better than other neighborhoods. I know what restaurants to go to. I know what roads to take. Like, I have it down to a science. I know what gas stations to go to. I know how to get the most money cash back. Like, I know what my expenses are each month. So like my first 2 paychecks cover my expenses. My last 2 paychecks, my third to last paycheck goes in the market. My last paychecks goes into savings and fun spending. Like, I have it down to a fucking science. And like people need to realize out there, like if you're in a situation now where you like your life, like this is important because a lot of people talk about the flip side where you hate your life, do something that you like, but there's a missing piece. The missing piece is when you love your life, staying there, progressing, doing better in that situation, but don't screw yourself and like make a horizontal movement to something else because you feel like you have to. If you love your life right now, don't switch it up. Just do what you're doing, do it better, get paid more, maybe start something on the side, but there's no reason to like give in to social pressures. There's no reason to give in like financial pressures. If you're good with your money, you shouldn't have to ever take a job because of money. Some people do, granted, I understand, but you shouldn't have to be in that position. And like, there's a real issue right now in the economy where I know for me, like I'm young, right? I'm 25 years old. I guess I'm an adult now at this point, which is mind blowing and kind of scary. But like, there's this, if you listen to CNBC or if you listen to Bloomberg, I do that every single morning, every single day throughout the day. You see these older people are very much panicking. They don't understand why people aren't coming back to work. They don't understand why kids are like not taking jobs. It's because you don't have to anymore, dude. Like, if you want me to work for you, you have to give me what I want. And I know, and like people, and for the longest time, like people get upset because they feel like they have to take a job. But if you believe in capitalism, you got to believe in the situation when the employee is stronger and the power is in the employee's hand more than it is in the employer's. And the reason why that's existing, listen here, all you old people out there that are freaking out because people aren't working off of money anymore. Like, those days are over of where people just got jobs because of income. Those days are done, man. People now, like my age and younger than me, I think my generation might be the last generation that works just for an income. And I think so. I mean, I don't think the kids younger than me are going to be getting a job just because of money. I know people older than me that hate their fucking life. They hate their job. They hate their significant other. They hate where they live. They hate everything about their life, but they feel they've put this salary above everything else. And that's why they stay there. and then like you ask them, why do you do that? And there's excuses, well, not even excuses anymore. They have mortgages and they have shit like this that they have to stay there. They got to work there. But my generation, me personally, just speaking for me, those days are over. Your money, I mean, maybe there's a point where I will get a job that maybe I don't like that much because of income, but it's not a priority anymore. And the one time I did make it a priority, it was a mistake. The suits remind me that it was a mistake. I didn't want to work there. It's that simple. I didn't want to put a suit on. I went into the office one time and I was like, this is not where I belong. I don't function like that, and I think people need to hear that. People need to understand that, like, you don't have to take a traditional path. I think the traditional path is bad. It's worse off nowadays. Like, it really is. Like, and like, to be able to make a transition these days is so much easier than it's ever been. And like, you need to realize that. People need to realize that. Like, if you need to make a transition and you have a car, you could do whatever you want. There's Uber Eats, there's DoorDash, there's Grubhub, there's Drizzly, there's Instacart. Like, you can make so much money just with your car. And then on top of that, like, you can sell things on Etsy. Like, you can if you're an expert in something, or if you know enough about something, like if you're decent with finances, if you're decent with painting, or if you're decent with poetry, you're decent at writing, you can create your own shit nowadays, put a few ads on it, build an audience of 1,000 people, and you could do that on the side. You can build that up while you're also DoorDashing 40, 50 hours a week. If you don't make enough money, you can go out on Friday, you can go out on Saturday. If that's not working, go deliver alcohol for Drizzly. If that doesn't work, go shopping for Instacart. Because like, we're in a situation now economically where we're in a recession. We're going to hit a hard recession here soon. There's going to be a hard reset. There hasn't been a recession since like 2016, 2017, 2016, 2017. Let me look it up. When was the last recession? I think it was in the U.S. 2007 to 2009. Yeah, I guess it was 2007, 29. That was a depression, though. I thought we had a recession. Was 2016 a recession? I feel like we had a recession just recently. The rate of economic growth decline in the U.S. and manufacturing is in a recession. Growth is very slow outside the U.S. and appears to be slowing further. Corporate earnings fall in 2015. 2016 is what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think the last time we had a recession was 2016, and you have a recession every 4 to 5 years. And this is just the way the economy works. I've read a book. I've said it multiple times, Ray Dalio. That's just the way economies work. An economy, when an economy overheats, inflation goes up. If you turn an oven up too much, the heat goes up, burns the cookies. When you burn the cookies, you got to slow it down, you got to turn it down, you got to take it out. And when the economy's doing too well, stocks go up, bonds go down, everything does well, right? People are getting jobs, people are getting paid more, but eventually that hurts the economy because it makes shit way too expensive, makes employees way too expensive. So then money's too easily transferred from banks. The Fed keeps buying assets to make money supply more free. The interest rates are near zero, like they were in 2020 and 2021. And then once they start realizing shit, inflation's here, like we have to switch some shit up, and the economy gets hit hard. But the good thing, I think, this is just my personal opinion, this is not financial advice at all, but my opinion is those days are gonna be here, but there's jobs now that you can work to get around those, like DoorDashing. People are still gonna eat. I mean, it blows my mind that people buy food right now. It really does. Every time I get a DoorDash order, I almost want to like deliver to them, be like, hey man, you realize like inflation's up 8%. You just pay me this much money. The fuck are you doing? Like, you live in a shitty apartment. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be saving that money. That's a crazy thing. That's a nut thing to do. But people do it. People still need to get around. Instacart's I don't see that one ever going away. I don't do Instacart, but it's one of those gig economies that I don't think is ever going to go away, because shopping is, people need groceries. Older people can't go out. They don't feel safe going out. Some women don't feel like safe going out to the grocery store. Some people just don't want to go grocery store shopping. I'm weird. I love grocery store shopping, especially at Sam's Club. But like that's just not going away. And I think that's the you're seeing right now, from my perspective, you're seeing a glaring disconnect between those who are the head of hedge funds and the head of private investment firms and these huge companies. And like these analysts and these financial analysts, like, I don't think they understand that kids my age, we don't care anymore about the money. We want you to treat us well. We want good work balance. We want to travel. And if you don't give us that, we will flick you the fucking bird, and then we will go get in our car and we're DoorDash, or we're Uber, or we're Instacart, or we'll start a podcast, or do something that can bring us money. And then they get mad, and it's like, well, no, you should come to work. And then we go like, well, you gave us so much fucking money. Like you guys, like they gave us so much money. Like, I don't understand why they did that. I mean, I know why they did that, but like, I don't think it was the best. I think looking back at it now, I think they realized that they should have cut it off like after the second one. But I'm not mad. They gave me a lot of money, so what are you going to do? But that's that. I think it's very important to recognize when you're in a good situation and just staying there, just living it up, be in that situation for a while. I think it's okay. Be smart with your money, put money away for investing, especially now, like when the market is crashing hard. Like I think I had that on one of my, topics I want to talk about. How I used to pee in the bed, Bill Gates, Joe Biden attacking MAGA, fingernail biting. Here we go. Can't let the market crash forever. Rednecks in 5 May, current economy and great resignation. Talk about it. But I think that's kind of what I see with, people, there's job openings that are record high right now. You're just not going to get people to work for them unless you give them 3 days from remote. You give them 2 days in the office. You only have them work 4 days a week. You pay them nicely, but you let them have a shit ton of vacation days. Like, they're not going to work for you. And like that, if you own a business right now, like a larger business, like you got to realize that. And the quicker you realize that, and if you can, there comes that situation where, if you have a few employees, but you treat them very well, it's better to have 5 amazing employees that treat you very well. And because you treat them very well, they work at the same rate that 2 employees would work. They're like a 2-to-1 ratio. It's better to have that than 10 employees who don't want to be there. You don't treat well. You don't pay well. You don't give them good benefits. And they treat like shit. And that's a classic Amazon case. Joey Diaz has this clip where he talks about like he's like it only takes 3 motherfuckers. You only need 3 bad motherfuckers to take over the goddamn country. You don't need 20. You don't need 100. You just need 3 solid bad motherfuckers. See if I can pull up that clip. Joey Diaz is a fucking legend, dude. Dude's the best, man. Joey Diaz. See if I can find it. It is a classic Joey Diaz clip. No, okay, here we go. This is it right here. Let me turn it up all the way.
Hey, that's what we're confused as Americans. We think we need all these motherfuckers. You give me 3 bad motherfuckers, and you're finished. You understand me? Hey, that's what we're confused as Americans. We think we need all these motherfuckers. You give me 3 bad motherfuckers, and you're finished. You understand me?
It's true, man. It's true, dude. People don't realize that. Like, that's all you need, man. That's all you need. You don't need that many people. So if you have a company, get a few solid, rock solid people and treat them like you care about them. Because people, I mean, especially nowadays, kids and people are so sensitive. They know real quick if you're bullshitting them. Real quick. They don't have to be smart. They're human beings, and they fucking know when you're lying. I want to show you this. What is this? What else? It's so funny. But yeah, I think that's the direction the world's going in, and you're either going to change or not change. But we're in for a recession. It's been coming, and I don't know. I listened to Jerome Powell live, and like, He's the head of the Fed chair. So like they decide buying and selling assets. They decide federal interest rates. When you buy assets and you lower the interest rates, money becomes easily acceptable. More money in the market. You flood the market with money. Inflation goes up. You start selling assets again. Banks have to buy it. Less money in the economy. People are borrowing less. And then when you do borrow, the interest rates are higher, so you don't borrow as much because of that as well. Inflation rate goes down. But like there's this cycle that economies have to go through where you give people money, you take away money. You give people money, you take away money. And now that the dollar's not backed by gold or anything, it's that cycle that gives the value to the dollar. And if that cycle's fucked up, if Jerome Powell and his team fucks up and they buy way too many assets and they if they buy way too many assets and they keep the interest rates down for too long while you're pumping the economy with trillions of free cash, since the dollar isn't backed by gold anymore, it's gonna hurt the economy. And there's a Goldilocks period where stocks go up 20%, stocks go up 30%, but there's a crash hard. There's a soft landing, there's a hard landing. I think we're gonna hit the ground fucking hard, like a suicide jump, straight to our death, nose first, splattered on the concrete, blood everywhere. That's what I believe. And the reason why I say that is because they've been wrong this entire time. I know it's a crazy thing to say. I'm not a PhD. I'm not an economic major. I'm a business bachelor's degree, in fucking entrepreneurship. But even I knew that inflation was getting crazy. And I think there's a part of these people where they don't. Here we go. Let me take a sip of my water real quick because I'm about to tear these motherfuckers up. I think what happens, and Warren Buffett has a great clip on this where he talks about, like he's always talking. He has this clip where he says financial analyst, economist. He said if these people knew so much about the market, why aren't they billionaires? They're not billionaires, and I think that's a true statement to make. I think that's a very, very valid statement because they're not. And I think what happens is with a lot of these PhDs and a lot of these people, they live up in DC or they live in different states, but they live in a really nice part of town. They get paid $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. Money, it doesn't, inflation affects them, but not knowingly. Like inflation affects me. I know how much it affects me. I know it affects my energy. I know it affects my gas. I know it affects my groceries. And I change because of that. I get a DoorDash card that's a 10% back on cash every time I fill up instead of 2% for my Apple card. I have Gas Buddy, so I see where the best gas is. I buy gas, once I keep a track of Brent oil every single day. If I see it spike up, I buy gas that day because I know when it spikes up, when gas becomes more expensive per barrel, gas stations are going to become more expensive. I got to pay attention to that shit. I visually see it. I see it every single day. These people don't. I truly don't think they do. I think what they do is they just look at data, and data's fine. I understand data is power. Data is real. But the issue with that is when you just look at the data shows you at a period of time, but there's a lagging effect to that. They saw inflation rates peak, but they're not out there working with everyday people, middle class people, lower class people, and seeing individual things get more expensive. I live in Roanoke. I saw the population of homeless people increase as time goes on. And a lot of that has to do, I think, with the warm weather, but I saw that. I'm like, that's not a good sign. Like, how many of these people are now homeless, but they were barely making it a year ago, but now they're not making it? That's a factor. If you can't afford anything, if it's hard to afford something in 2020, June of 2020, when everyone was getting free money and it was free to live in a rental place because you couldn't kick people out, and now you see people homeless, it's like, you should look into that. When you see the price of an avocado go up, or when you see the price of a house go up, or when you see the price of gas or like anything go up, you physically see that day in and day out. You shop every Friday, you see it. I don't think these people see it. Or I think what happened is that these guys had a plan and they balanced out. I don't know. There's a lot of things. I think they had a plan and they didn't want to skate around that plan, by skating around that plan, by changing up the plan, it might make them look less credible. And I think that's the issue with all politicians and all government officials. Is the biggest fear they have is looking less credible. They want to look as credible as possible so people can give them, I don't know, so people can kiss their ass more and more and more. But like, you can't do that like when you're running a goddamn economy, because people get hurt. And I think that's what happened. These people just looked at the number. Like, I remember Janet Yellen, the head of the Treasury Department. I remember Jerome Powell just kept on using the word transitory. And like, they say this and the market believes them, right? Because the market is going off what they say. But I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, when they passed that last stimulus package, I was like, that's not good. I don't know much about money, but I know that's not good. And you're seeing it now. You know, and I think inflation is peaking. I think it's going to be going down sooner than later, but like, I don't know. I think they messed up bad. I think they should have I don't know. I think they went up 25 basis points in March, but I think they should have started December, November. And I know that's a tough thing to say. I think that was when the market was at its highest in November of 2021. It's a hard thing to say because, you know, the war in Ukraine, the Omicron variant, those were two deciding factors. People really didn't know what was going to happen with that. But I just think they waited too long. And then when you get Powell up there on Wednesday, today's Friday, on Wednesday, and he's talking about, like, you know, they asked him, like, he literally said, we don't see a sign of recession. I'm like, I guess, I don't know. I don't understand what you mean by that. Like, unemployment's at an all-time low, but there's so many job openings. Like, what does that mean? Like, the economy, the market's crashing, like 26%, I think, is like down on the S&P, or it's something crazy. Oil is like $5 a tank out in California, $4 here in Roanoke, Virginia. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think we're in for a rude awakening, unfortunately. So that's that. I don't know. What else do I have here to talk about? I think I want to talk about real quick. I want to talk about, because this is important to me. I think this is something that is dangerous. What's happening right now in the world of comedy. Last week, the beginning of last 2 weekends ago, Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage. Okay. There's a whole history of comedy. Comedy isn't just an art form. Comedy is important for a society. The reason why comedy is important to society is it keeps society off the high horse. It keeps them grounded, because you can't get too full of yourself. You have to make fun of things. There's a reason why the king always had a jokester or a jester. And if the king couldn't laugh at the jester, that was not a good sign. Like, you got to be able to look at yourself and make fun of yourself. You got to be able to look at silly things and make fun of them. You know, you have to be able to do that. There's no topic that's off limits. You should be allowed to make jokes about race relationships, about LGBTQIA+, about the economy, about the president, about mental illness. These are joking matters. I know it sounds crazy. I know you hear me say that and you go like, Mike, that's fucked up. But you shouldn't joke about people like that. But no, you should. You should make fun of things, because everything is to be made fun of. And the reason why people go and watch this stuff, the reason why I listen to dark comedy, the reason why I went and saw Joe Rogan in 2017, the reason why I saw Theo Von last year, the reason why I saw Bert Kreischer this year, is because they take topics and they make fun of them. And the reason why you laugh is because you know it's true. And whenever there's an attack on comedy, you know people are lying. That's my opinion. If Dave Chappelle can't get up there and make fun of trans people, that's an issue. That's a real fucking issue. If Theo Von can't get up there and make fun of the vaccine, that's a real issue. If our government is making organizations called like the Department of Misinformation, I think that's what it was called. misinformation. What is it? MIS department? Where is it? Was it disinformation? It was disinformation. Yeah, here we go. DHS, Department of Homeland Security Disinformation Board's work. A newly formed disinformation governance board remains shrouded in secrecy a week after the Biden administration announcement the new effort was made widespread criticism. Anyways, but whenever your economy or whenever your government is making a board to protect people from information, that's dangerous. And I shouldn't have to explain myself why that's dangerous. Whenever you have people like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George Soros, government officials working together to tell corporations to stop using Twitter because Elon Musk is on it, you're doing that for two reasons. The first reason you're doing that is because you honestly believe that what he represents is evil. You think that what he's going to promote could cause whatever you're okay, so when I see that, I go, what the fuck are those people hiding? What are they hiding? It shouldn't matter that he's the owner of Twitter. It shouldn't matter that Tim Cook was the owner of Twitter. I mean, not Tim Cook. Jack Dorsey was the owner of Twitter. What is he going to promote that's dangerous? That's my thing. Like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal. I see that and I go, like, those are red flags to me. Whenever a government tries to control information, that's dangerous as shit. Because that's an open, communication should be open to interpretation. Anything should be allowed to be said, in my opinion. Anything should be allowed to be said. I should be able to shit on vaccines, tell people not to take them, tell people to take them, tell people they don't work. I mean, the FDA just stopped using J&J vaccine. This is the second time. And between the first time and second time, we just kept on using them. Like, what are we doing here? I saw an article like the Pfizer vaccine. Let me pull this up just so I don't. Pfizer vaccine death. Wonderful mother of two dies from COVID. First shot. Here we go. This is just an article right here. Study into mRNA vaccine death rates, danger signals. A new study reveals disparity in all-cause mortality between mRNA and adenovirus. Do the COVID vaccines save lives? This is a question on many people's minds that has led to heated discussions across the world. Here you go. This is very important for people to hear. This is not misinformation. This is from unheard.com. Okay, I'm reading off of this. This is important. People need to hear this stuff because this used to be misinformation. Also, misinformation used to say that masks didn't work, and then the head of the WHO comes out and says masks don't work. The only ones that might work are the N95s. That's what she said. Fauci said, don't wear a mask. They don't do anything. He said this at the beginning of the pandemic. He said they don't do anything. They just make other people feel safer. This is from Dr. Fauci's mouth. You can go back. You can watch the clip. Let me fucking see if I can find that right now. God damn it. Sorry for that delay. Let me see if I can pull up that clip right now. Because that's important. People need to hear this stuff. And this isn't a conspiracy. Fauci mask. Here you go.
To have you as my doctor is what? And the best way for me to prevent getting an infectious disease and having to have you as my doctor is what? Wearing a mask.
No.
You do that. If I can see they're getting ready to sneeze or cough, walk away.
You avoid all the paranoid aspects and do something positive. A, good diet. B, you don't smoke, I know. I know you don't drink, at least not very much, so that's pretty good. Get some exercise. I know that you don't get as much exercise as you should.
That's correct.
Get good sleep. I think that the normal, low-tech, healthy things are the best thing that you can do, David, is stay.
All right.
Okay, so
And the best way for me
you see
to
that,
prevent
right?
getting
You see that right there. That's Dr. Fauci talking about what you should do. And this was him right at the beginning of the pandemic, where he literally said these are the best things you can do. But then once we had vaccines, once those started coming out, it was just a push for vaccines. Like, stop smoking was never talked about. There's actually articles that said smoking made it better. There was no sign of work out harder. There was no sign of change your diet. It was just get vaccinated, get vaccinated, get vaccinated, get vaccinated. Tell people to get vaccinated. Shame people if they don't get vaccinated. Tell people they're killing old people if they don't get vaccinated. That was the message. But then you hear Fauci literally saying there's other things you can do. These are important. Granted, this was before the vaccines came out. I don't care, though. He should have been saying that the entire time. There's one message I really want to see here, though. Where is it? Fauci don't need mask. Clip. Outdated video. Shut the fuck up. That's not outdated, bro. I can't. Verdict. Partly false. Video shows Fauci's remarks at early stages of COVID-19 when masks were not yet recommended by the government. As the publishing of this check, Fauci recommends the use of face masks. This is from Routers.com. Who the fuck owns... Fucking hate that shit, dude. I don't trust any of these bastards. These people are fucking liars. Here you go. This is it right here. This is a minute and 42. This is March 8th of 2020. I understand. This is before it really got here in our country, but it was in China. They were wearing a mask. Why would he say don't wear a mask? And I'm not trying to be like an asshole. I'm not trying to be... This isn't conspiracy. This is what he said.
Back in March, I interviewed him for 60 Minutes' very first piece about COVID-19. Dr. Fauci and others took a lot of flack for initially saying at the beginning of the pandemic, it's not necessary for the public to routinely wear face masks.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
But then there was new information.
And then there was new information. I get it. I understand. Like, I'm not trying to... I understand. There was new information that says maybe masks do work. But that's not the point, though. The point is like so then when you start calling people crazy because they go like, I don't need to wear a mask, it's like, well, you said that. Anyways, let's get off of that. Okay. Do the COVID vaccines save lives? That is a question on many people's minds that has led to heated discussion across the world. A bombshell new study by a distinguished team of Danish researchers led by Professor Christine Stavelben suggests a surprisingly nuanced answer. Nuance? It should not be nuanced. It should be absolutely they save all lives. That's why we force them upon anybody before they can go in a store without actually having any real data, only a 3-month fucking trial, whatever it was, a year. These fucking assholes. I hate that shit. They messed up hard because people are not going to ever trust the government again after this shit. In the randomized trials of the COVID vaccines, the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccine reduced all-cause mortality of study participants relative to people randomly assigned a placebo. Indeed, the reduction in mortality is larger than expected from the COVID effect and may suggest additional beneficial nonspecific effects from those vaccines against other threats. On the other hand, Stavelben and her colleagues found no statistically meaningful evidence in the trial data for the mRNA vaccines reduced all-cause mortality. So the virus ones, the J&J and AstraZeneca did do stuff. Apparently, in this study, according to Professor Christine Stavelben out of Danish, she's a researcher, said the mRNA, there was no reduced all-cause mortality. The numbers of deaths from other causes, including cardiovascular death, appear to be increased in this group, compensating for the beneficial effects of the vaccine on COVID. Stable Ben is keen to stress that sample is relatively small and is calling a further investigation. Also, the study took place during very low levels of COVID. But it's just fascinating. Like, I don't know. I think whenever a government is creating something called a misinformation team or disinformation team, like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a schizophrenic. Maybe I'm just a paranoid person. But I see that and I go, like, fuck that shit. Like, I don't trust these bastards. I don't trust them. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust Joe Biden. That motherfucker's dead. I don't know how he's alive right now. He's up there just stumbling over every single word. Kamala Harris is completely useless, but she's vice president. Of course she is. Joe Biden or Donald Trump was a fucking idiot. The dude was dumb as shit. Maybe the economy did well under him. Did better under it's doing fucking, I don't know what's going on with this administration. I think even people like there's this guy who has been very critical of what I had to say. And even he was like, hey man, like I'm not like, I don't like any of these people. Like these people are not, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but you just listen to Joe Biden talk up there and he's just like, he's going after MAGA. Like MAGA's not that aggressive. Like I know I'm a registered Republican. I do not like Donald Trump and I do not like this anti-abortion shit. Like this stuff is disgusting to me. Like all this shit going on with like the leaks of the Supreme Court. Like what the fuck is that about? Seriously, what is that about? How is that leaking out of the Supreme Court? That's absurd. Smell that? That smells like something sketchy to me. That's weird. Like, it shouldn't be leaking out of the Supreme Court. How's anything leaking out of the Supreme Court? And how is this something like that that's leaking out of the Supreme Court? Like, that's disgusting to me that, like, I am so I'm so pro-life, pro-choice. That was a big mistake. I'm so pro-choice. That is, I think, and for every guy out there that says I'm a fucking idiot for saying that, listen to me real quick. When you take your dick and you have intercourse with a woman, you made a choice. That was your choice to have a kid or not have a kid. And before you orgasm, if you stay in, you made the decision that you're going to have a kid. And if that woman wants an abortion, she should be able to get a fucking abortion. I know it's your sperm, but it was your sperm when it was in your penis, and it's not your sperm anymore when it goes inside of a woman. Like, it's not that complicated. That's how I see it. I'm not Catholic. I was brought up Christian. I understand they have a completely different viewpoint, and I understand that's like a lot of men. And like, here's another issue. I think there's these men who are running these goddamn like super conservative states where they're like making it illegal at six weeks. I think even fucking Louisiana just passed a law where Louisiana abortion. This is disgusting. I don't think they passed it, but Louisiana Republicans advanced a bill to make abortion a crime of murder. What are you doing? Dude, that is such a step back. That is crazy. In America, this is happening. Since Supreme Court draft ruling was published, Democrats have warned of a likely torrent of challenges to established rights. Republicans in Louisiana have advanced a bill to make abortion a crime of murder as a draft decision that would end abortion rights continue to spark nationwide protest. That is insane, dude. Like, that's something that is so disgusting to me, that these men are deciding for women what they can and can't do with their own fetus. Fuck out of here, dude. And, like, if you're a dude, like, I don't know, man. I think you're a pussy if you don't think women should be allowed to have abortions. That's my personal viewpoint. And, like, you can say what you want about that. You can tell me how I'm wrong. Honestly, I don't think we should even have a say in it, but, at the end of the day, guys are the ones who make laws. There's more men in positions of power than women. I understand. But when I saw that and also like that's sketchy to me. What do you mean it got out? It shouldn't be getting out. Nothing should just be getting out like that in the Supreme Court. Like that's supposed to be like, isn't that supposed to be like a secure thing? Like I saw that and immediately I go like, what the fuck is happening? But there's a few things that I'm just so pro. I'm so pro-choice. I think if a woman wants to have an abortion, they should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. And here's like the dark side of it that people do not want to pay attention to, that people do not want to hear. Just because you make abortion illegal doesn't mean, I don't have one near me, that hangers don't exist. It doesn't mean that pain pills don't exist. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that alcohol doesn't exist. It doesn't mean these women aren't going to try to abort their own kids. Because you think when a woman decides to abort their kid, it's just easy? You think it's just a decision that they go like, oh, I'm going to have an abortion. Like, fuck no, dude. That's a hard decision. Hard decision. And like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they're doing it. Maybe they think like it's a sin. But like, what the fuck are we talking? Sins? What is this? The fucking 400 AD or BC? Fuck your sins, dude. Get out of here, man. You guys are dropping bombs on Syria. You know, you guys fucking dropped a nuke on Japan. These politicians are so sins. A woman having an abortion is a sin. Fuck out of here, dude. Like, that shit drives me crazy, bro. Crazy. And like the fact that, I don't know, this Biden administration, they're just so dumb, and it's gonna get worse too. Because look, I'm a registered Republican, but I am not a traditional Republican. Like, I live out here in southwestern Virginia, and I've never seen so many goddamn fucking what are those Confederate flags. These people are savages out here. Like, so many MAGA stickers. Like, when I lived in Annapolis, if I saw a Trump sticker, I was like, whoa, that's a brave person. Because you don't see that. Around here, if you see a Biden sticker, I'm like, dude, someone's going to follow you home. Like, they want to know where you live. You just don't see that here, bro. These people are savages out here, man. And, like, I don't know. I don't get down with a lot of the Republican views. Get down with the guns rights. I think you should be allowed to have a gun. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but like the people out here that I see carrying weapons, because you can carry, you can have open carry out here. The two people I've seen carrying weapons, one guy looked like he just fucking got back from Columbine, and then the other guy looked like a crazy old person, like a dude who like. My issue with like that is like, I think you should be able to carry a gun, but I think a lot of these people who carry guns, like, there's steps that you can take. There's talking, there's running, there's fighting physically. But I think when you carry a weapon, you kind of just go to that quicker than anything else, even if your life's not in danger. And I think that's dangerous, especially with a lot of people who I see carrying weapons. Like, that person should not have a weapon on them. Like, they do not seem healthy to have a weapon on them. But, you know, that's where we live. This whole, drugs should be illegal. Like, fuck out of here with that, dude. All drugs should be legal, in my opinion. That's what I think. But at the same time, I don't think you should rely on the government to help you. So I'm not a liberal in that sense. I'm a libertarian. I think small government's good. I think having a strong military is good. So maybe that's why I differ on the libertarian view. But like, outside of that, man, I don't know. I don't know where the country's going to be the next 4 years. I'm nervous. I mean, Trump's going to win. He's going to be the president from 2024 to 2028. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion. I mean, that's 8 years from now. I'm going to be 33 years old. Fucking 8 years of my life is going to be Donald Trump. It's just, I don't know. I think, and then like the House is going to flip, you know, or the Senate's going to flip. It's going to be red again. And it's, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for this country. I think Elon Musk buying Twitter is really important. Because I think when you take other viewpoints off of Twitter, you, instead of thinking, you're not doing the right thing, what you're actually doing is pissing off that side even more. And when you piss off a side even more, they do dangerous things. So I think him having Twitter is important. I think it's good. I think freedom of speech has been attacked in this country. I think comedy has been attacked. Dave Chappelle getting attacked on stage is an absolute embarrassment. Will Smith going up there and just being able to smack Chris Rock across the face and then being rewarded Actor of the Year. He should have been arrested. He should have been thrown in a cop car. He should be in jail right now for assault. That guy should have been arrested for assault. He shouldn't have been able to slap another man across the face for a joke. You can't do that. For anybody out there who thinks you can beat somebody up over a joke, you can't. You can't do that. There's a law called assault. You go to jail for that, as you should. You physically harm somebody over a joke, you should be put in prison. Will Smith should be sitting in a jail cell. And I know people are going to say, Mike, that's crazy. Why would you say that? Why should Will Smith go to jail over slapping somebody across the face? It wasn't really that big of a deal. And I would say, yeah, you're probably right. It wasn't that big of a deal. But guess what happens? It sets a precedent. And what happens when a precedent is set? Whatever is happening before the precedent doesn't exist anymore, because it becomes a new gold standard. It's a thing in law. Once a precedent is set, in the future, cases that are similar to it, they go back and they look at that one and they see the result of that one. Okay? People see what happens to Will Smith. Nothing happened to him. He was able to sit back down, yell a few things at Chris Rock, take my wife out of your mouth or some shit like that. I don't know what he said, but the dude's nuts. He's an actor. And then he fucking goes up there and wins an award for Best Movie Actor of the Year. People see that and they go, "Whoa, damn, I can do that." And then you get a Dave Chappelle. And then people think they can attack Dave Chappelle. It's not going to stop. Someone's going to get killed. Someone's going to get hurt. And you can't allow that shit. Words are not violence. Silence is not violence. Like, you got to understand that. Violence is attacking people. Like, that was a crazy thing during all, like, the George Floyd shit, saying silence is violence. It's not true. It's not true at all. It's never been true. Defund the police was a horrible idea. Now you can't even walk around in some cities because there's no cops left. You fired cops and you fired first responders and you fired nurses and doctors because they want to get the vaccine. You made up these stupid vaccine codes. You had to have a vaccine to go get a bagel or go to the grocery store. And then you took them away. And then the war in Ukraine breaks out and COVID's done. It's over. It's done. Every once in a while you turn on a news station and you see somebody talking about, we're going to have to do this. We might have to implement masks. Philadelphia puts masks back in for a week. Nobody listens anymore. Nobody listens to these people anymore. The establishment has lost complete trust in the people. From the right and now on the left, people who voted for Biden probably regret their vote. I mean, to them, it's better than voting for Trump. But goddamn, they're not happy about it. They see this dude up there. What did Biden? What did he promise? He promised helping with student debt. They haven't done not a single dollar has been erased off of student debt, and it won't be because those companies are in bed with the government. Fannie Mae or Sally Mae, which takes on all the student debt, you got to pay them. You can't have a 2008, 2009 again. That's what would happen. Police reform. Nothing's happened there. Nothing at all. Unemployment's come down, but that's because people have just stopped fucking looking for jobs. What else? Infrastructure package didn't get through. Not even close. Biden's campaign promises. Let's see. Okay. This is so funny. This is a promise tracker. Oh, this is so funny. This is from PolitiFact. Okay, so this is like a PolitiFact. So it's like Biden Promise Tracker. The Biden Promise Tracker monitors the 100 most important campaign promises of President Joseph R. Biden, elected in 2020. Okay, so 17 promises he have kept. Get COVID under control. I think that was already under control. Nominate the first black woman to Supreme Court. He's done that. Reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act. I guess I don't know what that means. Let's look at the promise broken. Block new fracking, so there you can still frack, which is something that he said he was gonna stop, but that's something that hasn't stopped. This is latest promises. So this is things that are in the progress of possibly getting done. Introduce a constitutional amendment to eliminate private dollars from federal elections. Hasn't been done yet. Forgive student loan debt from public colleges. Nope, not done yet. End for-profit detention centers. Nope, not done yet. Eliminate cash bail. Nope, not done yet. Support the study of reparations for slavery. Nope, hasn't done that. Require background checks for all gun sales. Nope. Decriminalize marijuana. Nope. Eliminate mandatory minimum for criminals. Nope. Restrict super PACs. Nope. Require all federal candidates to release tax returns. Absolutely not. Increase transparency of election spending. Nope. Make 2 years of community college or high-quality training program tuition-free. Nope. Ban the manufacture of sale of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Incentivize states to restore voting rights to convicted felons. Nope. Guarantee 7 days of paid sick leave. Absolutely not. Make public colleges and university tuitions for families who make less than free for families who make less than $125K a year. Nope. Offer public option health insurance plan like Medicare. Nope. Work to codify Roe versus Wade. That actually looks like it's going to be going the other way. Increase the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Never will work. Join allies to negotiate with North Korea on denuclearization. Nope, never worked. Use the National Commission to address policing issues. Never worked. Never's done anything. Restore Cuba engagement. Nope. Updating the Voting Rights Act. So none of this has happened. Like nothing has happened at all. Compromise in the works. Add 150,000 community worker. Create a public health jobs corp. Expand, but basically that's what I'm saying, dude. Use evidence to determine COVID-19 openings and closings. I don't know. Maybe people just think one thing, but I don't know what people thought. I'm not shocked by any of it. I see it all, and I'm just like, yeah, of course that fucking happens. These people are goddamn sleazebags. They're scumbags. That's what they're, the scumbags. But I'm going to use these last 2 minutes to just kind of promote myself real quick. Dude, doing our podcast is not easy. Not hard. Not easy at all. It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. Yeah. It's difficult. You try to do it. I don't think you could. Okay, so I want to promote a few things real quick just in these last 2 minutes of the podcast. So first things first, if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, I have been posting more and more on TikTok lately. They have been TikToks of the podcast. So you can see I have like 9 clips right there. I just post little clips. It's called Michael Labs Podcast. That's the name of the podcast, or that's the name of my my TikTok page. I've been doing TikTok for years. Like I think on this page, my first one was uploaded 2 years ago. Before that, I was doing a podcast back in 2019, I believe, like a long, long time ago. So that's there. And you can also go to my Twitter I don't really post anything on Twitter. But what I have been posting is I have been posting clips again of my podcast clips on there. It's called Mike Labs with 2 S's at the end. One other thing I also want to say is that if you want to donate directly to the podcast, you can do, you can hit the first, I think it's like the first, actually, I don't think I put it there anymore. I might put it back there, but normally you can go back on my few videos in the back. There's the first link. If you click it, you can donate directly to the page, to the podcast if you want to. Get us out of a fucking closet. Hashtag move from the closet. I gotta take a shit. In addition to that, there is on YouTube, there's a thing where you like it and you don't like it, which I don't show likes or dislikes on the YouTube. I just don't like doing that. I don't want, I don't know. I'll keep the views there, but I don't really care about the likes to dislike ratio. It doesn't bother me at all. You can comment if you want to. No one comments ever though. Most people listen to my podcast. I think it's like 90% of my 90% of my downloads come from Audible, 10% come from YouTube, which is kind of frustrating because I spend so much. Everything I've spent money on is for YouTube. Only thing I needed for the podcast, if I wasn't going to be on video, is this. I don't need a camera and everything, the light. I don't even need a closet. I can just do it on the couch. But I like doing it that way. But there's a super thanks. So at the bottom where there's a like section, if you go all the way to the right, there's like a $sign. You can hit super thanks and you can donate directly if you want to do that. It's like $1, $10, $50, $100. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, guys, that means a lot to me. That helps me a lot. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps the podcast growing. It shows me that you care about the content. But yeah, if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, Mike Labs or Michael Labs Podcast. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Michael Labs with 2 S's. Then you can also follow the podcast handle. I think is, pull that out real quick. Michael Labs Show. So, but yeah, guys, that's where all my shit is. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. I'll catch you guys next week when I do episode 256. I don't know, whatever at this point. It's just so many episodes. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you guys later.